Hello, everyone. Today's presentation is safety procedures. We must get ready because then we will be ready. And that's what we want to take a few moments today to talk about safety procedures. And we all have to prepare for what the unknown and more preparation that we have, the easier and the less anxiety we have in the process of the disruption in our life or the emergency situation. So let's get started on safety procedures. Get ready, and be ready. Our staff development training is part of our staff development series. And we take this training. Why do we take this training? We take this training to adhere to contract and funders compliance. We take this training to prepare for a higher area of responsibility and knowledge of the skills in industry and the industry and changes in the industry. We take this training because it's very important to improve our knowledge of company policies, procedures, and our goal, and to understand people better. If we serve people, and that's our ultimate goal, then it's important to understand how to serve people better and understand our environment. And when we have staff training, it really helps us to have a better work environment. So it's important to take advantage of all the opportunities that you would have to have staff development training. It also improves customer service. And the training encourages employees and the corporation to enhance their knowledge and to boost productivity and motivation because our ultimate goal is to serve people better. And that's why we have staff development training series, and we offer several different topics. And if you want more information, you can there'll be an email at the end of the presentation that you can email me if you're interested in training for your staff, online training. Emergencies are unexpected, and we have emergencies in all of our lives: earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, fires. And when an emergency hits, sometimes we have anxiety, nervousness, and fear of the unknown, and it really kind of put us off balance. And I just want to encourage that preparedness will help balance some of those anxieties or some of those feelings that you're feeling. And that's why I wanted to talk about the benefits of being prepared. No one can control any kind of disaster that hits suddenly. I mean, just imagine like COVID-19, or should we call it COVID 20 and 21. That was a pandemic that was a global pandemic, and it really hit us. It hit us like, wow, wow. We couldn't believe the whole world shut down. I mean, not just United States, all over. Everybody was hit by this pandemic, and we were not prepared for such pandemic. So I'm letting you know that even the unknown, even if we don't know what to do, sometimes I would just want to encourage you to be prepared for some of the emergencies that you can prepare for. And like I said, nobody can prepare for an emergency that you don't know anything about, but it's better to be prepared, and you have benefits in preparation. And the impact of an emergency is very severe. So we have to think about it. We have to think what you have to take a moment to think. You can't just live life day to day and not deal with the fact that at some point in your life you may have a situation. If you live in an area that they have tornadoes, you have to prepare. What would you do in the case of a tornado? If you live in an area where there's a lot of fires, you have to prepare for what? You have to be observant, and you have to make sure that you're prepared for that, because when you're prepared for that, you can better handle it. I remember in January 1994 in the Los Angeles area, we had a North Ridge earthquake that shook our world. And it shook our country, our city, our state, because it was a very large earthquake at that time. And we did not have a plan. My family did not have a plan. We thought we had a plan, but it was a plan that we had not looked at for a while. It was a plan that we decided that we would have battery operated flashlights, but then when we looked, our batteries were corroded, that flashlights did not work. We thought we had a plan because we had an earthquake kit, but it was a kit that we had not serviced in many years because we had never had earthquake of that magnitude. So what I'm letting you know is that you have to prepare, you have to think about it and observe, and take this time as you look at this video, take this time to do something about it. We also, I remember we didn't have our phone numbers, emergency phone numbers. Our cell phones didn't work. I believe the landline worked, if I remember correctly, but there was a lot of commotion. All I really remember was chaos. It was chaos. We decided that we would leave the house and go check on our loved ones. And there was a lot of traffic out there, and we got into a car accident. It was a minor fender bender, but because everybody was hiding with their anxiety, we have a large dog. The large dog was in the car, and the kids was in the car. We tried to go to the ATM machine to get money. The ATM machines were closed, and that's another situation where you felt, oh man, we don't have any money. Do we have enough gas in the car? Just situations that flooding your mind that happens during a emergency. So what I'm telling you to do, to think about it in advance, prepare in advance, do a check on the resources that you have available to make sure that they're still effective and relevant for what you have to do. Observe. And so create an emergency plan. It's time to think seriously about what kind of plan you would have depending on where you live. Like I said, I live in an area that we have earthquakes, and we know to drop, cover, and hold. And we have to protect our head. We have to look, as I sit here even today, I can look up, make sure there's no ceiling fan or nothing above my head that will fall on my head, because many of the injuries happen after the emergency occurs. It didn't happen during the emergency, it happened after the emergency. So we had to drop, cover, and hold, protect your body, protect your yeah. And what we do is get under a desk or a table, a sturdy desk or table, or they say in the doorway. But during the time that my personal family had the earthquake, we didn't do any of that. We just ran with hysteria. But I'm letting you know today we have a better plan. We have a better situation. We've decided that when you open up our earthquake kit, the first thing you see that I typed up in big bold letters is to remain calm. Because if we had remained calm, we would have made better decisions. So I want you to be prepared. Be prepared. And the way you can be prepared is create a list of contacts, whether it's your clients or you're serving other people or a housing participant or whomever. Make an emergency contact list. Write these on paper and put that in. One of the things I suggest is get a backpack and put items in it that are personal to you. So if there's in case of a fire, a flood, or anything, you can grab the backpack and run directly out of the house. Copy your identification or and put that in the backpack, medical numbers or phone numbers, and maybe a little cash, small first aid items may be good, and maybe a checklist that you can look at later, maybe a bottle of water, maybe a battery operated radio or some food, just maybe for a couple days like you're camping. But put things in the backpack that you don't have to think about. You just grab it and run, because that's about as much time as you have during an emergency. You can't really think, you can only move, and move with haste. So I'm suggesting that you create an emergency plan. But prior to the plan executing it, look around your area. I said observe. Clean and organize. Keep areas clean and organized and free of debris so that you can walk freely. Communicate clearly and monitor compliance. Communicate to your family, to your friends, your clients, whoever you serve, or to the people that in your family. We've already communicated where our headquarters would be, where would we meet, what our central location, and who will we call. Everybody will call the same person that's out of our area to communicate that we are well, and that person would say, we heard from this person, they are well. And then you have to monitor and update. So don't have, like, well, we had an earthquake kit that was just was no good. So make sure you store chemicals properly and label store. Make sure you don't have candles that are lit and you keep them lit and unattended, because that can cause a fire. If you need a hammer, use the correct tools, then use a hammer. Don't you become the reason for the emergency because you hurt yourself, or learn how to lift. Don't lift things use the right muscles when you lift so you don't hurt your back. So I'm telling you, not only do you create an emergency plan that encompasses your environment, but your own personal health, your own personal space. So you don't want to be the emergency in the emergency room. And you have to stay alert, be aware of your environment, and have a evacuation route and determine what that evacuation route would look like, where you would drive or where you would meet, as I mentioned before. So make sure that you plan and you prepare. There's benefits in being prepared. Learn how to use a fire extinguisher. It's easy to remember how to use a fire extinguisher if you remember the acronyms PASS. It stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And many of you, if you don't have one in your home, please get one in your home because they're really good for small fires you can put out without it growing. And I remember one Christmas, we were at a Christmas event and they had beautiful candles on the food table. And after everyone had already eaten and we had moved to the next room, a small fire from a candle erupted, and we were able to take the fire extinguisher quickly and put it out, and it was contained just in that area. And so so that you'll know, pull the pin of the fire. This would allow it to discharge the extinguisher. Also, aim at the base of the fire, because if you don't, it just goes through the flames and it won't hit, it'll just go through and be no good. So you need to hit the fuel where the actual base of the fire is coming from. So you pull and then you aim and then you squeeze the handle. In the picture, squeeze the top of the handle or the lever, and it will disperse the extinguishing agent into the fire extinguisher. So you need to pull, aim, and squeeze. And the last S is sweep. And I didn't know about the sweep part. It says sweep from side to side until the fire is completely out. And I didn't know that part, but I knew pull the pin, aim properly at the base of it, and also step away from it so you're not too close. Move forward when the fire's out, because at the time it's a fire, you're just fire. But and I knew to squeeze the handle, but I never thought about sweeping back and forth. But we did go back to make sure that it did not ignite again. We did take care of the candle, and from this point on, they don't use candles. They use the pre-lit battery operated candles at this particular event, because fires can be very dangerous. You're not certain if you're not certain that you might endanger yourself by trying to put out a fire, then you have to be very careful. Warn others. When there's a fire, just holler fire, fire, fire. Tell everybody that there's a fire, and leave the building if you can. If you can leave the building or leave the area, try to leave. If you ever feel, if your instinct tells you do not use a fire extinguisher because you're uncomfortable for any reason, you can always call for help. You can call for help. You can call the fire department if you're uncomfortable. Don't try to be a hero or a shero. Don't try to get it done. Let the fire department do their job. They're good at it. So in the case of fire, your job is, if you cannot contain the fire, evacuate as quickly as possible. Call the fire department, but definitely warn everybody around fire. Here I have a emergency checklist. You might find it very helpful because these are documents that you can have available, maybe in a fire safe or in a safe place. You need to put together these things so that if you have to leave or evacuate quickly, you will know where these items are, and maybe you can grab them quickly, or if not, they could be in a fire safe, protected safe, or some type of fireproof a file or paper that can keep it safe. But anyway, it's important that you gather these things so you don't have to look for them, and then make help if you have to evaluate do based on an emergency. These things may help you restart your life, or get started over again, or refresh your memories on certain things, maybe medical history, maybe credit cards, or things of that nature. But here's the list, and I hope it's helpful for you, and I think you should take advantage of it. Procedures to evacuate quickly. It's very important that we all take heed and evacuate quickly. Stop all the work that you're doing, stop immediately, and leave all your belongings behind. Hopefully, you have an emergency kit that you can grab and go out the door. Number two, follow the designated evacuation route that's posted in your office. Use the stairs, never the elevator. And if you see anybody that needs assistance, please offer your help if you're able to do it only safely, if you're able to do it safely, and that they are in combination with your goal to leave quickly. Proceed to outside the building, and definitely check in with your supervisor for accountability. Give your supervisor a call and wait for a clearance before you re enter a building that may be unsafe. This is very important. Because as we recap, I really want you to understand how important it is to prepare. Be aware, be prepared, and set a goal to implement a plan for you and in your environment. Look around at your exits. If you have any takeaways here, know that you have to be prepared. Look around at your exit. You make it, create it for you, your lifestyle, your office, whomever you service. Create it, but do it now. Don't wait. We never know when uh, a situation will hit us. So make sure that you know where your exits are. Make sure you know what's over your head. Make sure you know what plan you will take. And I suggested you write it out. Don't just have it. Take action. Get the backpack, put something in it, make it small or big, let it be something that you can grow on and develop, but put it someplace close to the door as you get ready to exit, if that's the exit strategy that you're going to have. If you have handicapped people or small children, please make accommodations for that also, or any special situation you would have. Our goal is that we would be prepared, and that's really what I want to talk about, is that there's benefits in being well. Yay, that's the close of our presentation. And our presentation was the benefits of emergency preparedness. And this is sponsored by Free and One Training Institute. And I want to congratulate you and thank you for participating in being prepared. The benefits of emergency. I'd like to thank you for letting me be of service as we work with Free and One Training Institute. As I said before, my name is Dr. Simmons. If you'd like more information, you can email me at fnotraining@gmail.com. And I just want to encourage everyone to be ready, stay ready, and we never know when a situation or catastrophe will develop, but you can always look towards maybe spiritual avenues to calm yourself, or meditation, or whatever you do. But remain calm, because when you're calm, you can be more effective and you can be of service to yourself and others. I'd like to thank you for letting me be of service to you. As I always like to say, God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things, and you may be that one that will do that extraordinary thing. Thank you for letting me be of service. Have a great day.